most natural, healthy my skin looks. Welcome to a new makeup video. I was blown away by all the love and support you guys have shown for my previous makeup video, which was like my everyday makeup routine. I truly had no idea that so many people would watch it and would like it so much, but I am back with another one. Highly requested no makeup look. Can proudly say that I'm a master of this look. As a model, I have to put on, well, I don't have to. Technically, for castings and for digitals, we're supposed to show up with no makeup. To us models, that means we just get better and better at doing no makeup looks. So there's my credibility. We're not trying to add too much to our features, but just enhancing them and making us just look more healthy and alive and more awake. That's enough of the intro. Let's get started. I am filming this in front of the window, so the lighting might go in and out. So I apologize in advance, but I'm gonna try to keep it as bright as possible and as even as possible. I always like to start off my makeup tutorials by telling you guys what I have on for skincare. So kept it very simple, but I did a layer of this toner spray. Just a very calming and hydrating water toner, but I love using this to wake up my skin in the morning. I did 2 layers of the Regeron Turnover Ampule. I've been really liking this. And it's one of those serums, when you tap it in, it gets a little tacky, which is great for under makeup. I don't like layering too many serums in the morning, so just that, and I do 2 layers because I have dry skin. And then I did my favorite SPF of all time, Skin 1004 Hyaluronic Water Fit Sun Serum. Let's jump right into this makeup look. I put focus on making myself just look more rested and more awake. That is the whole purpose of this makeup look. Nothing else. It's nothing crazy. It's not that noticeable. But I will tell you guys which steps that you should skip if you want this makeup look to be very undetectable. This is my makeup bag. I get questions about this all the time. It's hard for me to recommend it fully because it's such a heavy makeup bag. I don't like traveling with it because this on its own is like 5 pounds when it's filled with products, but I like it to store my everyday makeup sitting on top of my vanity. It's from Etoile. As someone with really dry skin, I always use a primer. Today I'm using Yeonjak's Skin Perfecting Base Prep. I've talked about this product multiple times. Such a good hydrating, grippy primer. I don't do too much, just like that much. And I'll focus it on areas where my makeup breaks down the fastest. So like around my nose, because it's so dry there, around my mouth, and then with the leftover just everywhere. So I guess everywhere. Yeah, put it everywhere. But working it into the areas where I know will need that extra help. And then my tip for this step is that I always tap it in and let it get a little tacky. This gets absorbed into my skin super fast, so there's nothing for me to like move it around. Like my fingers don't glide anymore because it's already tacky. And when I try to do this, it grips onto my fingers. So that's how you know it's a good primer. I also think I need to move you guys a little higher, so. Okay, I think that's much better. For base makeup, when a lot of people think of no makeup looks, they immediately skip foundation. They think concealer is probably the best way to go, keep it minimal, but I have a different opinion. If you're trying to go really undetectable, I think having a nice, thin, even layer of skin tint is better than having concealer on, because no matter how good you are at shade matching concealers, which I think shade matching concealer is one of the hardest thing about makeup, I don't think I own a single concealer that matches me perfectly. So that's the issue. If I'm spot concealing with concealer and that's the only coverage that I'm giving my face, I think a lot of the times you can see those concealer spots because it doesn't match my skin tone perfectly. We want people to be fooled that we are barefaced, that we have no makeup on. So instead of perfecting our skin with concealer, just keep it how it is, but just make it brighter or more even, depending on like your preference with skin tint. My favorite has been this cushion from Yeepuda, but today I want to highlight this product. This is Poom's Natural Glow Hydrating Foundation. It's started by a Korean woman we love, and she actually had Poom launch in Ulta like this week. So I just wanted to highlight in case you guys wanted to support her. I love supporting passionate individuals, and she's been killing it. What this is, it's marketed as glass skin in a bottle, but it's foundation that's good for your skin. It's not pore clogging, it's not suffocating, it's very natural. Supposed to give you that no makeup look while evening out your skin tone, and it has skincare ingredients to over time help you with your skin instead of doing the opposite. So yeah, today we're gonna use this to even out our skin tone. You don't need a lot either, just gonna use that much. I'm gonna be using it with this Philly Millie sponge that I got in Korea. Using my finger to distribute it. The shade is a little dark for my face right now, but it's fine. When I'm working with higher coverage foundation, I do like using a spatula to make it super even and build a coverage that way. But because this is like a lighter weight foundation, it's easier to work with. I don't have to think about like, oh, is it gonna look cakey? Is it gonna layer well? Is it even throughout my face? And then we just tap it in. I think today is the perfect day to do this makeup look because it's been really gloomy and rainy in LA and my body somehow knows that. And even though I got good sleep, and when I look at myself in the mirror too, I just look so tired. How does my body know that? This product blends so nicely and you can still see some discoloration throughout my face, but again, we're trying to fool people that we're not wearing makeup. We can still see my dark circles and some discoloration, but overall, I think my complexion looks more even and almost healthier with this glow. If I'm going to a casting, I actually won't do any concealer just to keep it very natural. But since I'm not going to a casting today, we are going to wear concealer. This is the concealer from Westman Atelier. It's so tiny, but it's been lasting me a while and I really like its coverage. I don't really like concealers that are too creamy because I feel like it doesn't do anything when it's too creamy, but it's the perfect consistency. It's not too dry and not too like high coverage either. It's still that natural finish, but it has that grip. It grips onto my skin and it covers just the right amount. But I like putting my concealer on and letting it marinate while I do the contour. We're kind of letting it marinate so it dries down and it gives us higher coverage. Contour just around my face, nose bridge, like that. One thing about nose contour, just because it's skinny doesn't mean it looks good. I actually think it looks better when it's kept a little wide on the nose bridge, like right here. We're keeping the contour pretty light because it can look muddy, and overdone contour can definitely give it away that you're wearing makeup. So it's important to choose contour that's more on the cool tone side so it looks like shadow on your face instead of like contour, right? And something that's very creamy and that blends well with the base layer. And this contour from Westman Atelier, again, is my favorite. It's super creamy, it blends really well, and the shade Biscuit is really good for my skin tone. So if you have similar skin tone as me, this one's a really good one. And this brush is the Dual Face brush from Refi. It's one of my favorites to blend cream products with because it's so good at diffusing the color while keeping the pigment on my face. For nose, I think I'll just use my fingers today. A little bit of the brush. And then for concealer, my Feli Milli 811 brush. Just like that, our skin is looking so good. I mainly wanted to film this tutorial to put you guys onto this blush because unexpectedly, this was my most used blush of 2025. I never thought I would reach for a color like this, but because I got it as PR from this brand called Soche, I decided to try it and oh my gosh, it looks so good. And I'm a spring warm tone, so usually when I'm going for something natural, I like to go for like a neutral pink, maybe even like a coral pink for my blush shades. But I'm realizing through my trial and error that this like berry color looks the most natural for this no makeup look because it's almost giving like that sun-kissed look. It looks like you're blushing from within, like you're just blushing because you're embarrassed or you're happy. This texture is really interesting. It's a perfect hybrid of cream and powder, but I use my fingers to blend this product out. It's super pigmented, so you have to be careful. But because it's this perfect cream powder hybrid, it lasts a really long time on my skin. If you watch my other makeup tutorials, you know that I'm very specific about my blush placement. I will first do a little dot there, a little dot here, like this, and with a little bit of leftover, I will put it on my chin, like on my nose a little bit maybe. I I'm not too particular about how I blend this out. I can use my finger or I can use my refi brush, but I'll just use my finger today. We're just going to softly diffuse this color, and I like to keep it pretty high on my cheekbone, and I like to spread it more like horizontally like this because I think it gives that look of like, oh, she was out in the sun, and that's why she's so like blushed and flushed, right? Kind of like to follow like my natural cheekbone right here. Keep it horizontal. I think this instantly adds that youthful glow to my face, and this is what mainly makes me look awake. But I have a little bit of a blush blindness, so I have to be careful with this step to not overdo it, which is when this brush comes in handy so I can really get rid of it if it's too much. But yeah, you wouldn't think that this dark berry color would look this natural, but it does. I don't know if the camera is capturing how pretty this looks, but you just gotta try it. Please trust me and buy this blush. I think it looks especially good with my freckles too. We need to finish off with the cream before we set it with powder, so I'm gonna do my aegyo step. Another very crucial step in my makeup routine, especially when I'm not wearing a lot of eye makeup. I still make sure to do my aegyo because it's something that defines my eyes, something that opens up my eyes. So I love my Colorgram pencil, but I actually ran out of this contour side. So recently I've been using this lip liner pencil, but it's like this brown, so it works like that. Like that. And conveniently, this pencil has a brush on the other side. I'm usually using the Colorgram pencil. I will give myself like a natural contour to my eyes. So I'll contour the inner corner, adding a little bit of depth here. Give myself a little liner. Yeah, this adds some shape to my eyes, some definition without having to wear eyeshadow or having to wear eyeliner. It's gonna add a little bit more towards the end of my eye. Usually for castings, I will do like an invisible wing, I call it, and that's just contouring my eyes more upwards with this pencil. So without having to wear eyeliner, my eyes look more elongated. Yeah, I really wish I had the contour side of my Colorgram right now, but this works. And then using the highlight side of this pencil, I will highlight my aegyo. I think I look so awake right now. Like, that definitely made a difference. And to set all of the cream products, we're gonna do some setting spray. I just wanted to show off how cute is this. I got this as a PR gift from Say. I don't know if they sell this on their website, but they should be. I honestly get so mad for you guys when brands do cute PRs that they don't even sell online. I'm like, what is this for? You're just like teasing people. They could be making money with this, but why aren't they? Okay, maybe they are selling it, I don't know. But this is their new setting spray. Just a light layer. I love how fine this mist is. And I love a glowy finish, but I just like when things are powdered so it doesn't feel sticky to touch. And you guys know I love my Chanel powder for this because it doesn't mattify your skin, but it keeps your skin looking glowy and very skin-like, but when you touch your face, it will feel powdery. It's insane. I don't know how they do this, but this is actually their travel version of it, like the compact version. It has a mirror. It's much smaller than their actual powder, but I'm not the biggest fan of the packaging. It gets really messy, so I have to be careful. I start with the under eyes, brow bone, because we have to draw on our brows later, around the nose, around the mouth. The first few places the brush touches, those are the areas that I need the most setting. And then with the leftover, I'll just kind of sweep it across those areas. Like, I don't need setting. I just want them to feel more powdery, you know? So yeah, when I touch it, it's powdery, but it looks glowy. I don't understand how they do it. Moving on to the brows. Brows always really hard to keep it super natural if you don't have a lot of brows like me. But for no makeup looks, my go-to combo is light layer of powder and then adding some strokes with really thin brow pencil to make them look natural. And I'm using this powder. Stick to a light ash color angle brush, mainly to just even out my brows. Focus the powder on areas where I lack the most hair. That's like my arch area right here. and then the front of my brows. I also made my brows a little thinner recently, and I've been really liking it. I need to clean them up a little bit. They've been getting bushier, but brows is something that you can have fun with because they will always grow back for the most part. I love switching up my brow shape. They're very subtle, but it's like something that I only kind of notice. Except when I thinned out my brows this time, a lot of people noticed, and it made me kind of happy and seen. Good thing about no makeup look, it doesn't have to be perfect because imperfection makes it look more natural. I'm using a super thin brow pencil. I will add little strokes to my bald spots. And it's okay if it's uneven or not that noticeable because that's the whole point. Use some strokes at the front. We're gonna use a brow gel, make the brows look more fluffy yet polished. I like putting the brow product onto my brows and then using like the end of the brush or a brow pencil in this case. I like shaping them. I usually don't like the super like soap brow look, but when it comes to no makeup looks, I think it can look good. Since there's not much makeup that we're playing with anyways, you can add some texture to the brows. I think that's good for the brows. Finishing off with the definition on the eyes. If you're making this super undetectable makeup, you can skip this step. But even when I go to castings, I usually do wear mascara because I think it makes a big difference for me of opening up my eyes. I've been using tubing mascaras. They're really great. And I go for something more natural, like a brown color. This is from Urban Decay. And I will focus on the ends of my lashes so they just look longer and more defined. Like this. I have baby lashes, so it's nothing crazy, but still something. I don't know if tubing mascaras would be good at holding straight lashes, like lashes that are curled with a lash curler, but because I have a lash perm right now, it works really great and I don't have to use like a separate waterproof mascara remover to remove this, but it's water resistant. You just remove with warm water and it will slip right off. And using a pencil liner, I'm going to tightline my upper lash line. No wing, just tightlining. This eyeliner from Laura Mercier has been my favorite pencil eyeliner. I have really dry eyes, so it's easy for pencil liners to smudge on me, but this one's been the best. My camera shut off and I forgot what I was talking about and I don't know where I put my eyeliner, but the Laura Mercier eyeliner is great if you have dry eyes and your pencil liner smudges constantly. If you have watery tight lines where like most pencil liner won't glide on, this will glide on. It's crazy. The highlight of my makeup routines, always the highlight. No pun intended. But again, if you're trying to make this really no makeup, stick to matte highlight. That's something that I've been really into. 2/4 has this strobing face cube and they have it in this white color. It's a matte white highlight. So if you are addicted to doing the inner corner highlight like me, but you don't want like a shimmery shadow, use this. Like that. This is a step that I also cannot skip because it just makes me look more awake. On the nose. Maybe on the Cupid's bow. But if you are in a place where you can play with a little bit of shimmer, you guys know I love my glint highlighter, but this is definitely noticeable. Like the shimmer in this, it's very easy to detect on the skin. So my really natural option is this one from Say. And again, this is kind of like that powder cream hybrid. I like using my finger for this, but it's a super subtle highlight. It's like a slight glimmer. I saw beauty creators do highlight swatches on their knuckle. Adds like that slight gloss and sheen to your face. So I'm just gonna be using this on my cheekbone today. So pretty. A little bit on my nose. On my Cupid's bow. Just look how healthy my skin looks right now. Final step, we're gonna add some color to our lips. My lips been so dry this entire time. I've been waiting for this step. But another reason why I love this is because you can apply it to your lips and it looks super natural. Use my fingers. And I will just smudge it across my lips for like that blotted lip look. It just makes it look like my lips are naturally this bright. You can smudge it out with your fingers to give you that blurred lip line look. That's super trendy. And then to finish this off, just because my lips are super dry right now, my favorite lip balm to pair with lip products is this one from Demo. This is so thick that it will stay on your lips forever. Like, you genuinely don't have to reapply this throughout the day, which is my favorite thing ever. It has like a slight tint. This is like a coral pink. It's like a silicone covering for my lips so they don't get dry throughout the day. But that is the final step. Let me quickly figure out my hair and I'll be back. Actually, since it's a no makeup look, I'm not gonna do anything to my hair, but that is the finished look. Very fresh-faced, very clean, but makes you look more healthy, awake. Looks like you've been drinking water, looks like you've been seeing some sun. And it's actually a very fast and minimal makeup routine. I was just trying my best to explain each of the steps to the best of my ability so you guys know what's going on in my brain when I do each of the steps. I hope it's a new makeup routine that you try out. Let me know how you guys like this look, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Wishing you a great day ahead.